Naruto, 10 times Sasuke proved he loved Sakura. Even before Sasuke and Naruto became friends, and before Sasuke ever considered him a rival, he had already shown several signs of caring for Sakura. Sasuke and Sakura's relationship is one of the most interesting in Naruto, with Sakura making her feelings known while Sasuke walks the path of an avenger. Sasuke struggles with letting people get close to him due to losing his entire clan at the hands of his brother. In a moment he lost his parents, his friends and neighbors, and his brother. It's no wonder he struggles to form relationships. Yet, despite his loner tendencies, Sasuke has a hard time pushing Sakura away. Particularly in the manga. Even before Sasuke and Naruto became friends, and before Sasuke ever considered him a rival, he had already shown several signs of caring for Sakura. Albeit in his own way. What Sasuke can't say in words, he says with actions instead. 10. Sasuke stays with Sakura until she wakes up during the bell training. During their first training exercise as a team, Sakura struggles to even get close to Kakashi to steal a bell. She is less skilled at hand-to-hand combat and quickly falls under a genjutsu. Sasuke, on the other hand, touches one of the bells, though he fails to take it. When Sasuke ultimately loses to Kakashi, Sakura comes upon him and faints. Rather than leaving after freeing himself, Sasuke instead chooses to stay by Sakura's side until she wakes up, putting his path as a ninja in jeopardy as time dwindles. Sasuke acknowledges the lack of time, yet he still chooses to remain by Sakura's side despite this, which ultimately costs him a second shot at the bell. 9. Sasuke defends Sakura during their bodyguard mission. During Team 7's first mission outside of the village, they are attacked by a pair of ninja who are set on killing Tazuna. The bridge builder and the one Team 7 has been charged with escorting. When the two ninja seemingly kill Kakashi, Sasuke quickly stops them from attacking Naruto. However, when the two ninja split up, one of them goes after Tazuna. Sakura blocks him, putting herself between the bridge builder and the attacker. Sasuke notices this and leaves Naruto on his own, placing himself between the attacker and Sakura with no time to counter the attack. 8. Sasuke encourages Sakura during the Chunin exams. When Team 7 agrees to take the Chunin exams, Sakura is worried that her abilities will not be enough and that she may be a hindrance to her team and not pass the exams. The morning of the first exam, Sasuke notices right away that something is wrong, and when the team encounters a genjutsu, uses the opportunity to give Sakura's confidence a boost. Sasuke praises her intellect and states that she must have already noticed the genjutsu due to her advanced analytical skills. Sakura, feeling reassured, explains the genjutsu and silently thanks Sasuke. Sasuke's perceptive ability when it comes to Sakura is extremely high, and the fact that he goes out of his way to build her confidence speaks to their positive relationship. 7. Sasuke avenges Sakura in the Forest of Death. When Sasuke is given the curse mark from Orochimaru, he collapses and Sakura is left to defend both him and an unconscious Naruto. During this time, the Sound Ninja attack, seriously injuring Sakura, who fights desperately to protect her teammates, taking extensive damage and even chopping her hair off to protect them. When Sasuke wakes up, he is taken over by the curse mark. However, his entire focus is on Sakura, who hurt her, and on hurting them more. Sasuke breaks one of the Sound Ninja's arms brutally and would have continued his rampage if not for Sakura hugging him and begging him to stop. 6. Sasuke regains control because of Sakura. During the one-on-one tournament in the third round of the Chunin exams, Sasuke struggles to keep his curse mark under control. During his fight with Yoroi, Sasuke's curse mark begins to activate, and he fights desperately to keep it from taking over his body again. However, as he recalls Sakura's voice begging him to stop in the Forest of Death, He can regain control and the curse mark symbols disappear from his body, allowing him to finish his fight without relying on Orochimaru's power, and keeping his promise with Sakura to control the mark. 5. Sasuke prioritizes Sakura's safety in the fight with Gaara. Sasuke's fight with Gaara during the Chunin exams is intense and ends up involving nearly all of Team 7 when Gaara allows the Shikaku to take over his body, significantly increasing his power. Gaara captures Sakura, pinning her to a tree, and Sasuke tells Naruto to prioritize Sakura's safety first and foremost. When they manage to free her, Sasuke catches her and leaves her with Pakken, telling him to keep her safe before returning to the fight. Sasuke, who is focused on his revenge for much of the series, is now prioritizing his teammates' safety over the thrill of engaging with a strong opponent. 4. Sasuke thanks Sakura before leaving. In one of the most heartbreaking moments in the series, Sasuke ultimately abandons Konoha in favor of joining Orochimaru to gain power, choosing the path of revenge over bonds. Sakura manages to catch Sasuke before he leaves the village and begs him not to go. She ultimately relents, asking if he will take her with him if he is set on leaving. In response, Sasuke appears behind her and thanks her before knocking her out. He lays her on a bench before leaving. This scene says a lot about the relationship between these two characters, particularly as Sasuke struggles to share his feelings. Yet, in the moment he knew he would be leaving the village, he chose to thank Sakura, acknowledging her feelings and caring enough about her to make sure she would stay safe. 3. Sasuke catches an exhausted Sakura. During the Fourth Great Ninja War, Sasuke is trapped in another dimension, wandering the desert as he looks for a way out. Sakura and Obito desperately search the various dimensions for him, finally finding the one he is trapped in when they are both physically exhausted. Sasuke runs to the portal, but Sakura is too exhausted to continue sharing her chakra with Obito and falls. Sasuke uses Sakura's jacket and swaps places with it, appearing beside her in time to catch her. Rather than helping her to sit or simply steadying her, Sasuke continues to hold Sakura tightly as he explains his escape to Obito. 2. Sasuke apologizes to Sakura in the Valley of the End. After his long-time coming fight with Naruto concludes, Sasuke and Naruto both end up with a missing arm. However, Sasuke ends up with something much more important. He finally comes to terms with his feelings for his friends and recognizes the importance of those bonds. As Sakura arrives to heal them, Sasuke finally apologizes to her for everything he has put her through over the years. Sakura cries as Team 7 is finally reunited, and Sasuke finally returns to Konoha and her. Sasuke, after apologizing, shares a rare smile as he reunites with his team, and finally accepts Sakura's feelings. 1. Sasuke shows Sakura his feelings with a poke. As Sasuke prepares to leave the village to begin his journey of redemption, Sakura is once again there to see him off. However, unlike the first time he left, this moment is heartwarming rather than heartbreaking. Sasuke tells Sakura he needs to go, and once again she offers to go with him, this time with a blush rather than tears. Sasuke rejects the proposal but taps her forehead and thanks her to her face, giving her hope that he may bring her the next time. This moment beautifully mirrors Sasuke leaving in the first series, with a much more satisfying conclusion. Ultimately, Sasuke and Sakura end up married after the series concludes, and have a daughter, Sarada.